Okay, that debate happened. Okay, I'll front it with the positivity. I honestly think Biden did really, really well for most of that debate. Seriously, I really do think that. The first debate, I feel like there were moments where he like really kind of kowtowed or sounded weak next to Trump, who was Trump was comparatively quite civil this debate, which I mean that's a really low bar, but still. But I think Biden really, really, really came across here pretty positively. There were two segments here that might be interpreted as bad for Biden. The one you're going to hear talked about the most is the accusation that Biden wants to destroy the oil industry. Holy shit. Do you guys remember when Americans used to care about innovation? I swear to God, if you go back 100 years, the Republican Party would have all been in the pocket of Big Horse, and they would have been like sending the Pinkertons to execute car engineers to prevent the horse industry from going under in the face of this new incredible technology. You know, it's incredible. Yeah, America used to be built on innovation. America used to be the envy of the world when it came to the development of new infrastructure, when it came to the development of new, powerful, innovative technologies that change the way society works fundamentally. When it comes to mass industrialization, roads, highway networks, railways, the internet, all of these things. Fundamentally, all of these are very simple technologies that we were able to broadly invest in, and through a lot of state power, they were made useful and usable from one coast to the other. And that's great. Yeah, the postal system. Yeah, that was not just an easy thing to do. America's a big country. We used to work for this crap. But nowadays, the oil industry, bloated, inefficient. We know it's destroying the planet. And all these politicians, these Republican politicians, will do anything to defend it because, of course, they're in the pocket of those lobbyists. Because the Republicans know after they're done, after they finally lose an election or retire, they want to become a consultant for one of these big oil firms, make $1.2 million a year doing absolutely nothing, and then retire to their private island where they can rape children in comfort for the rest of their days. That's the dream for them. So actual things that improve America, like investing money in renewable energy, which objectively, by the way, would improve the economy. This is a crazy thought. Guys, you know how people say the economy is driven by innovation? To an extent, that's true. Do you have any idea how much of an economic boost it would be if America invested in renewable energy and used that to bump out the oil industry? No, 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 no. Really. We have a huge capital base to work with. We could become the leaders of the world. And if we're the leaders of the world, other people come to us for tech and equipment. You realize that, right? If we make the best solar panels, if we make the best windmills, if we make the best lithium batteries, the rest of the planet comes to us for that material. Even if you're just talking economically, even if we ignore the whole end of the world thing, you know, that's very incidental apparently in this debate, the fact remains unequivocally that the economy would benefit from us investing in these industries. But whatever the case may be, people are going to say that Joe Biden just wants to destroy the oil industry, whatever. The other bit that I think some people might hammer Joe on a little bit, I think was the immigration bit. That bit just felt a little bit weak to me, though I don't mean that in like a tremendously substantive way. I think for the most part, Joe did pretty well. And apart from those two segments, I think, honestly, Joe kind of knocked it out of the fucking park. We got so many phenomenal segments from Trump. Trump calling immigrants low IQ. We got Trump saying that he didn't want to approve stimulus because they would go to crime-ridden Democrat cities. He's saying that he doesn't want stimulus going to black people, by the way, if you can't read between the lines there. But there are Trump voters even in these cities. He doesn't care if you live or die. You know, he really doesn't care if you live or die. He doesn't give a fuck if you live or die. He went from saying Joe was at fault for not getting the Democrats to pass stimulus to him saying he didn't care about stimulus getting passed because it would go essentially to black people. Remember with the Trump, the immigrant children that were separated from their families, when he essentially said he didn't give a fuck about them, he said, well, their accommodations are very good. You know, well, they're being treated very good. And by the way, a lot of those peoples were rapists and murderers anyway. When he lied, he said that that immigrants would never come to their to their court hearings to try and determine whether or not they could get, a stay in America. Oh, the poor boys thing was just funny from Biden. Biden had a lot of decent moments, I think. Biden had a lot of decent moments. The way Biden said, you keep talking about your family, my family, I want to talk about their family, those people. The way Biden talked about COVID-19, this is about them. This is about all the people who reach over their bed at night, instinctively feeling for their husband or their wife who's gone now. That shit's potent fucking optics. That's good. Yeah, Trump saying they're learning to live with it. You say they're learning to die with it. Phenomenal right there. Yeah, really fucking good. That was really, really good. Oh yeah, if Biden was a more naturally charismatic person, I feel like he'd be unstoppable. Though there is a charm to his sort of crotchety senility. There is a charm to that, from some perspectives. The other weak moment for Biden was the lockdown thing. The moderator asked if he would be willing to commit to not doing any more lockdowns, and he said no. And Trump kind of like scoffed. Now, I don't mind lockdowns if they're done well. Again, if we just did one nationwide lockdown for 6 weeks with really, really, really strong provisions done locally, we could get rid of the virus. We could just get it over with. Like, we could be done with it, It's the constant half. It's, when you break an arm? Maybe some of you have, maybe some of you haven't. I've broken a hand before. All the hand bones, underneath all the meat, it's like just another set of finger bones down here. Like, it's not a big plate bone. It's just more finger bones, basically, except it's surrounded by a palm. I broke my hand, and here's the thing. When you break a bone, you have to treat the recovery properly. I'll ask you, what will bring about better results? Absolute no contact for that hand for 2 months, or for a year, you frequently use your hand, it hurts again, whatever, ow, don't use it again for a week, you use it again, well, ooh, hand hurty, oh, pack off it for a little bit, you use it again. The longer you drag it out, the more you perpetuate the process of recovery, the worse it gets, the more pain you cause yourself. And that's what we're doing right now. A strong national lockdown with certain provisions and certain accommodations could be very good for this country. It'd be better for the economy as well. But yeah, of course, Republicans do not care if you live or if you die at all. They simply do not. With regards to Trump's general sociopathy, I think that he came off pretty unhinged tonight. I think that most moderate voters are going to see from tonight's debate a genuine lack of interest in human life from Trump, which is representative. Trump constantly tried to pivot. You'll notice how effective this Biden moment was, too. Trump constantly tried to pivot to the Hunter Biden thing. Nonstop tried to pivot to it over and over and over again. And he basically shut up after Biden gave that line that, I'm not here to talk about your family or my family. I'm here to talk about their family's line. That was, that really seemed to shut down the discourse for the most part. I suppose you have to keep in mind, though, that conservative media is, the Trumpers are 100% in on the idea that they have a 100% chance of winning. So they're all going to be, celebrating their victory. But it's insane copium. Do not fall for it. Oh, I see. We are really, really, really consolidating, aren't we here? This really is a last gasp. Sadly, the overwhelming amount of violent crime in our major cities is committed by blacks and Hispanics. A tough subject must be discussed. And he's getting ratioed to hell. My goodness. Again, we shouldn't be surprised by this. From a leftist perspective, we know exactly what type of people he's trying to appeal to here. Oh, this is from 2013. My bad. I'm sorry. You got me all hyped up. My apologies. I didn't even think to look. You all linked it. Why are you linking me tweets from 2013, you fucking losers? Jesus. Come on, guys. Come on. Gee, I trust you guys. I just look. The only thing that I saw right here was the 2 response tweets right here, 21 minutes, 22, 26. So I thought, okay, I didn't think to look at the actual fucking tweet time. So, okay, you got me. All right. Okay, you got me. You fake newsed me, okay? You Project Veritast me. Very nicely done. I'm very proud of you. Yeah. Why are you all linking me so many tweets? I don't care. I genuinely don't care. What I do care about is the future of this country. And the future of this country is in large part going to be determined by whether we want to see this country headed by a senile old fool who seems to have somewhat decent intentions, or at least as far as neoliberals go, or a death cultist who is constitutionally incapable of telling the truth. That is the range of options we have laying before us. I'm confident with my choice. And I hope more Americans become confident with theirs. Remember, even with the most optimistic projection of voter turnout, it seems like about only half of the eligible voting population is going to actually vote. Or sorry, not half, I'm sorry, 60 to 65%. There are a lot of people in this country who could vote but do not. And I'd be willing to bet, by the way, you really press down on the people who aren't going to be voting, I bet they'd be Biden supporters if they actually went out and voted. I bet you anything. Trump supporters vote for Trump. Anyway, it's a wacky, wacky debate. We have, what, 12 days? It's a very scary time to be alive for us. But I'm optimistic. We'll cap this off with 538. The effect of the debate on the polling will, of course, take some time to be known. Wait, what is this? Wait, hold on. Mitch McConnell's hand is discolored, but he swears nothing is wrong. What the fuck is this? What in the fucking world am I looking at here? Holy shit. Man, maybe QAnon is right, because the only thing that I can think of that could preserve life in that state is fucking virgin child blood or whatever. What the fuck? I know old people fall apart eventually, but man. Yeah. Oh god, he's becoming black. He's gonna be like the second Republican black senator. Oh no. He's gotta double their fucking... their id-pull power. It's like the opposite of the Michael Jackson process. He's wait, is it, did he vote for Biden? Is this happening to him? He voted for Biden now. It's the change is happening. Oh god. Fucking lunatics. McConnell has no concerns despite visible bandages and bruises. What the fuck? Does anyone know if there's any medical condition that causes, what the fuck? Your body to just bruise like this? I mean, there have to be some. No, not necrosis, I don't think. Torticitis. Very nice. I changed my mind. I don't care about your uninformed medical opinions, okay? I don't care. Let's focus. It's going to take a while for the for the results of this debate to impact polling. So we only have what we're going off of before that point. Right now, Biden is at pretty much a 10-point lead over Trump, which, mind you, is significantly higher than what Hillary had over Trump at a comparable point in time 4 years ago. If we actually look at the national forecast, which was updated right before the debate took place, the odds here seem to be hovering at about a 12% chance of Trump winning and an 87 for Biden. 1 out of 100 here indicates a 50-50 that gets decided by the House. And as I understand it from Nate Silver, because this chart takes into account the variability before the point of the election. If it were actually to happen today, the election, it would probably be like 9% for Trump to 91% for Biden. State polling has been doing well for Biden. If we take a look at all of the major swing states that are going to be deciding the results of this election, Pennsylvania is decidedly leaning in favor with Biden. Florida is a solid 3.3 points up. That is very good. Arizona currently is 2.9 points up. That is also very good. And incredibly, North Carolina, too, is looking at a 2.3 point lead. That's great. Georgia is 50-50 right now, and it's 16 electoral votes. 50-50. Iowa, damn near 50-50. Ohio, within a single point. Texas? Texas is now less than 2 points apart, thanks to a couple of really good polls recently. Now, there are no guarantees, but right now, the odds are in our favor. And I have a feeling that the results of this election are in large part going to come down to how effectively state Republicans will be able to toss out the results of their actual voter tally and just throw their weight behind Trump. That is a thing that can legally happen, as cringe as it would be. Now, of course, it's not just a matter of the presidential election. Thankfully, we've only been getting good news from the U.S. Senate. Right now, it's about a 3/4 chance Dems take the Senate. 1/4 chance Republicans keep it. That's great. The average result has a 51.5 Democratic senator outcome, which is, I mean, it's in our favor. And if we take a look at the House, of course, the House is ours. 4 in 100, Republicans win control. 96 in 100, Democrats win control. We will need to win all 3 branches of government if we are to have even a chance of dismantling Republican power in this country. Hopefully, this debate has convinced some swing voters, has moved the polls in some way, or at the very least has convinced the apathetic that Trump is a threat to human life and must be kept out of office for a second term. I don't know. We'll see. But all I can say is that it's going to be a very, very, very stressful couple of weeks until we see how this pans out. And it's not going to be done on the 3rd, by the way. It's not, it's the 3rd will not be the end of it. It will be an ongoing process. We'll see how it goes.